In the dawn of humanity, when the earth was still young, two brothers walked the land. Abel, a shepherd, his heart as gentle as the lambs he tended. His spirit was one of peace, his gaze filled with a quiet faith as he led his flock through green pastures under the soft morning light. His brother, Cain, was a man of the soil, older, stronger. His hands were calloused from tilling the unforgiving earth. His face was a mask of weariness, his eyes holding a shadow that the sun could not touch. He worked relentlessly, his sweat watering the very ground he cursed. The time came for them to bring their offerings before the Lord. Abel, with a heart full of devotion, selected the very best, the firstborn of his flock. He presented his gift with humility and pure faith, a simple act of love for his Creator. Cain followed, bringing forth the fruits of his labor. The produce he had wrestled from the ground, but as he laid his offering down, his posture was stiff, his expression clouded by a bitterness he could not hide. He watched his brother, and a seed of jealousy took root in his heart. Then a celestial light, pure and warm, descended from the heavens, embracing Abel's offering. A clear sign of divine favor. A sacred fire consumed the sacrifice, its smoke ascending as a pleasing aroma. But Cain's offering lay untouched, shrouded in shadow, ignored. The silence was deafening. Cain's face contorted, the jealousy in his heart now blossoming into a thorny vine of resentment and anger. He saw the acceptance of his brother, and it felt like his own rejection. His spirit grew dark, his fists clenched at his sides. Why Abel? Why not him? The question burned within him, a fire far more destructive than the one on the altar. Later, in a secluded field, under a sky that had begun to churn with grey, ominous clouds, Cain approached his brother. He called out to Abel, his voice strained. He spoke of walking together in the fields. Abel, trusting and unsuspecting, agreed, his gentle smile a stark contrast to the storm brewing in Cain's eyes. As they walked, the air grew heavy, and the wind whispered a mournful tune through the grass. The shadows lengthened, and in that desolate place, the darkness in Cain's heart finally overflowed. In a burst of rage fueled by envy, he rose up against his brother Abel. The world seemed to hold its breath. The struggle was brief, the act horrific. But Abel, the righteous, the gentle shepherd, fell to the earth, his lifeblood staining the very ground his brother worked. The silence that followed was profound, broken only by the cold, lonely wind. The sky wept, and the land that received the innocent blood seemed to cry out in agony. Cain stood there, breathing heavily, the warmth of his anger replaced by a chilling emptiness. The deed was done. The first blood had been spilled upon the earth, not by a beast, but by a brother. Then a voice not of this world echoed through the silence, resonating not just in the air, but in the very soul of Cain. "Where is your brother Abel?" It was the voice of God, calm yet piercing, a question that demanded more than just an answer. Cain, startled and trembling, felt a wave of fear wash over him. He tried to feign ignorance, his voice shaking. "I do not know," he lied, his guilt a heavy shroud. "Am I my brother's keeper?" The defiant words hung in the air, a pathetic attempt to deflect the truth that was now etched onto his soul. The voice responded, its sorrow and judgment intertwined. "What have you done?" "The voice of your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground," and with those words the curse was sealed. Cain was to be a wanderer, a fugitive on the earth, forever estranged from the soil that had drunk his brother's blood. He would toil, but the ground would no longer yield its strength to him. But the mark was placed upon him, not just as a punishment, but as a sign, a constant reminder of his sin. We see him now, a solitary figure walking away into a barren, desolate wasteland. His journey is one of endless wandering, his heart a barren land of regret. Every step is a reminder of his loss, of the brother he loved and destroyed.